You know, when Germany went through the Ardennes, and the thought was that it was impossible for Germany to do that. The forest is too dense. There's no way they can get through that forest. There's no way they can get through that forest. But the French had internal evaluations that said that Germany could go through that forest, and they did go through that forest. And they were surprised. France was essentially overrun in no time. They were essentially a pushover, not even a factor in the war effort at that point. Later on, of course, they tried to organize themselves, but ultimately, not so much. They were taken out in one of the most massive intelligence failures from the standpoint of a war effort. And a less relevant failure to such a degree, but a failure nonetheless. Apparently, the Iranians cracked a CIA network that using Google. The CIA was using secret communications, and the Iranians were able to crack that using Google queries, just basic Google queries. And to make it worse, this was one of those situations where somebody in the agency had said something about it, of saying, wait a minute, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, but it worked so well, nobody did anything about it. And if I'm not mistaken, they went after the person who said something about it. That's amazing. McClatchy details the story where the CIA went after the people who said something about it. This is an article from RT that one of my subscribers sent me. HB actually sent me this. Shout out to HB. CIA secret communication network was cracked by the Iranians using Google search. The web-based network, which was used by the CIA to communicate with sources, was overcome by Iranians using textbook Google queries and new expose claims. The agency knew about the vulnerability, but failed to act. Probably the biggest failure of U.S. intelligence since 9/11 has been the compromise of the CIA's communication network, which has been used to keep in touch with agents and assets in foreign nations. The Chinese busted and executed dozens of U.S. spies because of it. A new expose by Yahoo News says a similar upheaval happened in Iran, and the Iranians managed to defeat the system relatively easy because it was never intended for the purpose it was used for. An internet-based platform first used for the war zones in the Middle East and was not designed for long-term communication to stand up to any serious counterintelligence effort. The issue was that it was working well for too long with too many people, but it was an elementary system, one former U.S. intelligence official said. Around 2010, the Iranians managed to penetrate it, and many at the CIA were shocked with how simple Tehran's approach was. The Iranians identified one of the websites used for the network through a double agent, and then used Google search to find the sites with similar digital fingerprints. The visitors to those sites were then tracked, leading to the unraveling of the entire CIA network. The United States is not sure whether Iran and China busted two separately with Moscow or cooperated with each other. They believe Beijing may have shared with Moscow their discoveries about how U.S. spies operate. No similar unraveling of sources in Russia followed, however, the report says, attributing this to the CIA having kept its Russian operations walled off from the rest of the agency. The CIA could have prevented the blunder had it listened to the defense contractor named John Reedy, who warned about the vulnerability in the system years before the Iranians mastered it. Reedy's job was to identify, contact, and manage human resources for the CIA in Iran. His complaint, however, was not heeded, while Reedy himself was punished by his superiors for embarrassment he caused, or at least what he believes. This is one of the most catastrophic intelligence failures since 9/11. Irvin McAuliffe, a national security analyst with the Government Accountability Project, told Yahoo News, and the CIA punished the person who brought the problem to light. Amazing, amazing, amazing internal failure. Massive internal failure by the CIA. Good job. Punish the person who brings the problem to light, as opposed to actually fixing the fucking problem. Same thing happens with dairy farms. Instead of dealing with the fact that people are kicking cows or abusing animals, you go after the people who expose it and bring it to light. I'll end this here. I don't have long today, so I can't necessarily bring in audience comments and everything else, but massive failure by the CIA. Thanks all. I see you all this evening.